So just to inform quickly, I'm working on the languages, different languages of PPTs. Like Tamil was requested, Hindi was requested, Marathi, definitely we have started sending, Bengali, we have started working on. So different devotees are involved in these services of translating PPTs in different languages. So it's just a matter of time. When the moment it's ready, we'll send across. And most likely we'll be creating some link so that we'll post all the PPTs in that link, like a folder. And because if I send on the WhatsApp group, it gets very confusing. And so we were thinking to create a folder on computer, and then all of you can access according to the language, preferred language. So till now we are working on Bengali, Marathi, Hindi, and that's it. Yeah, Bengali, Marathi, Hindi. So let's start. And who is doing? Kala is giving us a summary today. We are on for week 3 of Bhakti Vriksha, and we have just not even done half as yet. So Kala is going to give us a summary. So thank you, Kala.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. So we had the Prabhupada Pranam mantra.
Very good.
We offer our obeisance to a divine Bhakti Vedanta, His Grace Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada, and who is taking forward the message of his Guru. And delivering the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, delivering Western countries. Then we learned the Panchtattva mantra. So she's signing it one by one. She signed the first Prabhupada Pranam mantra. I, unfortunately, Mataji, I'm not well versed completely with the mantra,
Yeah,
so I missed it. But she she signed it the way it is being signed now. It's being translated, no? Then she is now doing the Panchtattva mantra. And she signed one, she forgot, she did all 4. One, she got the 5th one also, and the last, that Gaura Bhaktindra Vrinda. And Hare Krishna, Hare Rama.
We need a new teacher for you.
So she said something about Balaram, but we know that we have so she mentioned all the 3 mantras, and the last she was explaining what Hare Krishna and Hare Rama, all these terms mean. And one she mentioned is Balarama. So is there Balaram there, Mataji, in Hare Krishna, Hare Rama?
Yeah, Rama sometimes is also taken as Balaram.
So that's what she had said.
Okay, Rama has different interpretations.
Yeah, that's what she said.
There's one interpretation is also Balram. That's okay. After that, next.
We also learned, Mataji, that what was the form of worship or spiritual path one should take in all the yugas. So we had the Satyuga time, the Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and then the first one was that used to meditate for very long. Second used to have the yagnas. Third used to be that we used to have temple worship, and fourth in Kali Yuga time is Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Very good. Excellent.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay, next. Anything else after that?
She says that, Mataji, that she really wants to do it well and doesn't want to mess it up. She says
No, she's not messed. She remembered that much.
She has many barriers and many challenges which she has been facing. She says that she wants to serve. She wants to give even to her parents who are sick, She wants to ensure that if everything goes well, if they're healthy, she would donate, she would feed people.
Sure. Definitely. Okay, so we move on. Anything else? You remember? Did we discuss?
She says there's something more as well, Mataji. The cycle of birth and death, Mataji. We learnt about that, and then we learned that in Kali Yuga time, the 6 forms of dosha. I don't know. Yeah, greed,
correct.
selfishness, greed, ego, and all of these things can impact our spiritual journey. And these in fact, because of this, we react badly, which could then we earn bad karma. Mataji, I am unable to understand some terms. I have not interpreted for Kala Mataji before, finding it a little difficult to understand. Can somebody help? So she's saying that people are She's saying that, Mataji, in this Kali Yuga time, other people only think about their selfish intent. They can fool you, mislead you, and all gurus, any person who's a sadhu you see and you feel, he's a guru, is not there. He could fool you, he could, and you have to be very careful. Yeah, there's a little variation in her signing, so it was difficult for me to understand. But I've understood clearly. I've told her all the points clearly. Mataji, she is asking, what do you think of her recap?
I think she's covered everything. Only in the last slide where we're talking about fake gurus, there was also the mention in the presentation about how difficult it is for people to earn a living, and they're constantly having fear of war, of diseases, of natural calamities. So there is always that fear, and people are very unfortunate. Their life is less, and so it generally there is a constant struggle. Even if you are a good person, there is a constant struggle in Kali Yuga, to survive. So that's it. I think that's till that time point we covered, and she did that a wonderful job. She covered all the points, so no need for me to repeat. So can we start the? There are no questions today, or till at least half an hour. After half an hour, we'll see if we get time. We can take up one or two questions.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. He says, thank you.
So if it is not a problem, then we're not. Can we take question after the? After half an hour, I'll see there's time. We can take a question.
Yeah, Mataji. Okay, we can start.
Okay. So this is a new person I can see here. So
New person, Mataji.
Gore is there. No? Some Gore is there.
Yes, Mataji. He's raising his hand, Mataji.
That's what I'm saying. Is it a question? Because can we take it after half an hour? Okay, thank you. So let's start. So I'm proceeding because we've already covered this. So this was the last slide. I'll hold it for some time. So we had covered this slide where we are talking about how unfortunate people are in Kali Yuga. Okay, so let's begin from next. Is that okay for everybody? And Kala had just very rightly, assigned the entire till 4-5 slides. She's just spoken the entire thing. So the same thing is there in the presentation. I'll proceed.
Yes, ma'am.
Saurav, I have my son's help today. So if you're finding any different word that we need to type, please let me know. He's going to type. Okay. So you just say see and let me know what should he type in advance. If you let me know, we won't waste time.
Yeah, Mataji, what happens is the word I'll get to know only at that moment. And in the time I connect it and speak it, in that meantime, I'll put it.
So let me know at that time. Immediately we'll type it out.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So now what happened that now we are going to start next. We have already discussed about the effects of Kali Yuga on us and how Kali Yuga is, a dangerous age. So now what happened is that Krishna had already left the planet, and once he left the planet, Kali Yuga had started. And after that, like you have read in the Panchatattva Advaita Acharya, right? So when Krishna left, Advaita Acharya was there on the planet and he was sincerely praying because he had started seeing how the Kali Yuga is happening, what is happening in Kali Yuga. He saw that, teachers, pundits, scholars, they were very arrogant. They were proud of their learning. And, they would never speak anything about Krishna or about Bhakti. So Advaita Acharya was observing all this. He saw that, people are worshipping Devi Devtas. And why are they worshipping? Just for some benefits. I should get a job, or I should get my children settled, or I should get a beautiful wife or a nice husband. So those are the things people were desiring for. Nobody was desiring for love for Krishna. Nobody was desiring for pure bhakti. Nobody wanted to serve Krishna. So the worship was happening of various Devi Devtas, but it was only in order to satisfy some desire, not for desireless bhakti was not happening. So they had some selfish motives, and that's why people were doing the worshipping of Devi and Devtas. And not only that, people were criticizing the other people who were taking the name of Hari. So if there were people who were somehow got conscious and they were chanting the name of the Lord, these people who were materialistic, they were criticizing. So such was the situation, and Advaita Acharya was worshipping Krishna, and he wanted that he should come back again in order to relieve these people, ignorant people who are, living in darkness. Also, at that time, there was another saint. Also, at that time, there was another saint, and his name was Haridas Thakur. So tell them they can have a look. Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur was used to chant in a single day. He used to chant 3 lakhs names of Krishna in a single day. And even he also, prayed that in this Kali Yuga, Krishna should come back again. So hearing the intense, strong prayers of these two very high level devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came on this planet Earth. He is Krishna himself, and he took the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he came on this planet Earth. And what did he do? He appeared so that we could love Krishna, we could understand Krishna. And how? Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the mantra which Mahaprabhu gave to us, and he came specially, he manifested on the request of these very senior devotees. Let's move on. So how does this chanting which Mahaprabhu gave, we saw in different yugas, there were different process. However, when Mahaprabhu came, he did not recommend anything. He did not recommend meditation. He did not recommend temple worship. He did not recommend, big sacrifices or big homams or havans. He only and only one thing he preached, and that is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, what is the benefit? Why did Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna, who is nobody other than Krishna himself, why did he only speak about chanting, which is such a simple thing? So, the reason which we read here is that chanting is the process which is very practical in this Kali. Because as we mentioned last week in last class, we understood that how for meditation, you need to live for thousands of years, which we can't live now, right? For yagya, for havan, we need very pure materials like tons of ghee. And even the pandit who has to perform this havan has to really should be very well versed in the chanting of the mantras. Then the temple worship. Temple worship is also a very difficult part. It is not so easy to do temple worship. Okay, pandits can do, but how about common people? Common people can do none of these things. Right? Can all or me, can we even think of doing all these things? We can't think of doing all these things. That is why it is said that chanting is the most practical thing to do in Kali Yuga. Next, whoever takes to this process immediately becomes purified. So, I don't know if you would have heard in earlier sessions that we are eternally living in this world. Anything to type, Swarap? Okay. Practical. So,
Mataji, done.
Okay. So, it is very practical, and also that, whoever takes up this process immediately becomes purified. So, purified means that because we are constantly coming and going.
Mataji,
Immediately. So immediately gets delivered. So why? Because we are living and dying for billions of years. So we have done so many sinful activities. So we become purified when we start chanting. Third is this process of Krishna consciousness, it burns all our sinful reactions. We become purified. And how? Because all our past sins have been burned just by doing this simple activity which is called chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sorry, I'll just be back in a second, please. Sorry.
Mataji, the third point is still pending, right? We had practical, immediate.
First was practical. And then was becomes
Immediate.
immediately purified. And third is it burns our sinful reactions. Sarapuma, I'll just be back in a second, please.
Sure, sure.
So I'll share the screen again. And we till now we have discussed about the effects of Kali Yuga and why we should why only chanting is important in this yoga and no other process. We have already read all that, and we've also studied that how Krishna appeared on the request of Advaita Acharya and uh, Haridas Thakur. So we have learned, and after that we have also learned that Mahaprabhu came and then he taught us about love of Krishna and how to get purified, how to get delivered just by chanting. So benefits of chanting, we read that how practical. It's a very practical solution in this yoga because we cannot do other things. Other things are very very difficult for us to do. And next is it purifies us. This process of chanting purifies us, and also it burns to ashes. It burns all our previous sins. Okay, so now we are going to move to a different new topic, and we are going to talk about the soul now. Okay, soul and the body, we are going to talk about that. So those who are following Krishna consciousness for some time, maybe for you it is an old topic, you're already aware, but there are not a lot of new people who are not aware of this. So we will as part of our Bhakti Vriksha, we do explain about body and soul. So let's start. I'll share. So here in this screen, we saw that how there is a person who is lying dead. So what is the difference between a living body and a dead body? Right? So the difference is then when somebody dies, the soul comes out of the body of that person. Now we're not talking just about human beings, we're also talking about animals, cats, dogs, birds, flies, insects, everybody. So when that body, when the person dies, or when the living entity dies, the soul comes out of the body, right? And when the soul comes out, what is left behind is called dead body, right? I think many of you know that because death is something which has happened in everybody's family. So that is nothing new for us. So when the soul comes out of the body, it is called a dead body. It's a simple thing to understand. Okay, so what happens when the body, what happens to the soul then? Soul moves out from this body and then it moves out to another body. So when your body is finished, when you die, you are not finished. So what is the meaning of you? You means the soul. And what happens then? You get another body. How? So the process is explained in scriptures, that how we change clothes, how we change a shirt, or how we change our sari or a chudar. Similarly, this body also changes. Sorry, the soul also changes the body. It is like a dress. Currently, I'm living in the body of Anuttama. I'm called Anuttama, right? So the moment I come out of this body, the body will be dead. Then my soul will move and start living into another body. So it is just like changing of clothes. In Bhagavad Gita, it is explained that changing of body is as same as how we change our clothes. Similarly, each time we die, we change our bodies, but the soul within the body remain the same. So soul, nothing is happening to the soul. The soul which is present inside your body, there is no change happening. The quality of the soul is remaining same eternally. Only thing that is happening is we are just constantly here, life after life after life, we are just changing our body as we are changing our clothes. Okay, so the soul comes out of the body and it moves on, not immediately. Sometimes it doesn't happen immediately, sometimes it takes many years, but it does move on to another body. It just changes body like how we change clothes. So is it understood? Is this principle understood? And this process is called transmigration. He's typing, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhu, he's typing. This process is called transmigration. Okay, you can just note down the word. So okay, so let's move on. Now here we will learn that how does the soul move on from one body to the other. And it is said that the soul is actually invisible. You cannot see with your eye. Even with very powerful microscope, even if you have a very, very powerful microscope through which you can see some insects, even in that microscope also you cannot see the soul. Okay, so now let us understand that our body has various parts. Okay, so what is visible, what is visible to you and me is called gross body. What is visible to all of us is called gross body. Now, gross body.
Mataji, we need the word. Thank you.
Yeah. So this body is called gross body. This gross body, what does it contain? Our body, like fat, bones, skin, face, hands, legs, all this which you can see. You know, when you look at me, whatever you can see in front of you, it is called gross body. Okay, now there is another type of body which is called subtle body. Okay, so there is another type of body which is called subtle body. What does this body contain? This subtle body is made up of mind, intelligence, and ego. Unintelligence, ego.
Yeah, Mataji, we need those. Yes.
Yeah, so mind, intelligence, and ego. So let us understand these terms. Mind is, we are thinking with our mind, right? So it is easy to understand. Mind cannot be seen, like how we can see gross body.
Mataji, I'm sorry, just a little confusion. This is Saurav here. Before
Huh.
also we have had this discussion, Mataji, mind, mind, because in ISL, I am signing, if I sign mind also head and intelligence also head, then it would be confusing, no, Mataji? Because mind, some other Prabhuji, but Mataji, I was signing mind. He told me I'm wrong. This is not the mind. Mind is the interconnection of the heart and the brain, the emotional. Because then intelligence is what? So this is a little confusing for my translation, ma'am, Mataji. If you can help me.
Oh. Actually, intelligence is superior to mind. Hmm. Intelligence tells us whether to do something good or bad. It differentiates between good and bad. Mind can do anything. Mind can do good also, bad also. Whatever is registered is inside your brain, mind will do that. But if you are intelligent, then you can you can have a difference between what is good and what is bad. For example, mind will tell that let's steal money from somebody's purse.
Mataji, is it something like the psychological concept of id, ego, and superego?
Super ego to nahi hai, Prabhu. Actually, ego is that I am this body is called ego here. So I'm explaining with an example. I think they'll understand.
I told Mataji, mind, as you said, is like the devil kind of a thing, the impulsive kind of a thing, which is always telling you no rules, no बहुत सारा chicken है, सारा खा लो, पढ़ाई का क्या करना है, खेलने चलो. Is that okay?
हाँ, right. So mind can say, correct. Mind can be controlled by intelligence. So if you have intelligence, then you can distinguish between what is good and what is bad. Okay, and the last element is ego, or also known as false ego. So why is it called false ego? False ego means that I am thinking that I am this body. Actually, what should we all think? I am not this body because this body is temporary. I am a soul. That is my true identity. I am not an Indian. I am not a girl. My name is not Anutama. What is my true identity? My true identity is that I am a soul. Because every time this body will get finished, will die, and I will go into another new body. So something which is dying after every 50, 60, 70 years, how can it be true? Right? So that is why this is called false ego. Is it little bit understandable? I think it's going to take some time to understand these things. Okay. Fine. So now we've understood that there are two parts. One is a gross body. Gross body is something which you all can see.
Mataji, it could also be the interpreter, because these are concepts which are a little difficult and I am also learning.
Right.
Mataji, because it's going through me. No?
They seems to be happy and they seems to have understood. I know. Sorry.
It's going fine only. He says he's trying well. They're saying it's good.
Have I started sharing?
No, Mataji.
Okay. So again, I'll share this slide. I'll just have a look at it again. That how there are two parts. One is the gross body, which you can see with your eyes, and then there is a subtle body, which you cannot see. And what all does it have? It has mind, it has intelligence, and it has got false ego. Okay, is that understood? I'll just quickly share the screen again. And now what happens when we die? The soul is carried to another body by the subtle body. Let me explain you in this way. Suppose there is a bag which is not visible, transparent bag, and inside bag there is a soul, and that bag is present in a body which you all can see. So what happens is when we die, the body is destroyed, right? This cover or this plastic cover, which I'm calling subtle body, it will go out of the body, right? And
sorry, Mataji, I would need that to be repeated. I didn't understand that.
No, I'm just trying to make them understand little practically. That's why I'm just giving an example. Suppose the soul is
I missed interpreting it, Mataji. You can
okay.
repeat that.
So let's take an example that let's take that there is a cover. There is a plastic envelope which is not visible, and the soul is inside. And then this entire thing is within the body. Okay. So what happens is,
sorry, Mataji, there is a bag. Inside the bag there is plastic, and inside the plastic is the soul.
Right.
Right. One minute, Mataji. One minute, Mataji.
Can I sketch it? Can I sketch it?
Yes, Mataji, that will be nice.
Okay, I'll try. I'll show you the screen. Here. Okay. So we both can be can you spotlight me?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's only you, Mataji, on the screen now. The interpreter is not there, so there won't be any interpretation. Madam, there won't be any translation. So
let them go have a look at these things. We can't be side to side with each other, at least to some.
Mataji, a lot of people use mobile phones, no?
Yeah, at least to some people, let it get clear. Maybe they can make the others understand.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's consider that this is a body. What is hands, legs, right? Inside that body, there is the subtle body. which is of mind, intelligence, and ego. And here is the soul. Right?
Sorry, Mataji, so the body is the outer circle.
Outer one, outer. Whatever we are able to see.
Yes, and the circle inside.
Inside is the subtle body, the mind, intelligence, ego. And that small dot that you can see is the soul. Right? So what happens when we die? This body is destroyed. Can they see? This is destroyed. Okay, now these two things, they come out. After death. And then, with the mercy of Krishna, these both go into another body. So now you can see there's another body which is formed. This died, these two came out, and then these two went into another body. Is that understandable?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Huh?
It is.
You can remove the spotlight. So is it clear? Is there any doubt which anybody has?
I was just asking them, Mataji, if the two spotlights are okay. Most of them said yes. Some of them are saying no, one is better. So I'll just remove you.
But would they understand?
Yes, Mataji, yes. Kala Mataji says she has a question.
Okay.
Mataji, she says that why are there two circles?
So one is the subtle body and one is the gross
Mataji,
body.
can I request something? If there's some other deft bhakt here who has understood, they can explain.
Right, yeah. Even I was thinking that. Ask, I don't know, Vijaya Mataji, Tatiana Mataji, or Ganesh if he's understood.
Vijaya Mataji is raising her hand. And there are other people also who are raising their hand.
So let's try. You interpret what Vijaya Mataji is saying.
Yeah, Mataji, I'll try. So she's explaining, so imagine a mobile broken, but the SIM card. So the SIM card, you can change and put it into the new mobile. If your mobile falls, it doesn't work. So you simply put the SIM card in some other mobile.
Wow, Hari Bol, very wonderful.
How is that, Mataji?
Wonderful. I have to learn so many things. Thank you. So can we move on? Kashmira wants to say something.
Says Mataji, so the body is gone, the gross body, and so we have the soul and the subtle body. Because the subtle body also has the reactions of karma, isn't it? The sinful reactions. So can the subtle body and the soul ever be parted, or the subtle body is forever with the soul? I mean, only that one subtle body.
Actually, there are three things which are always together. Something which we have not discussed as yet is that Krishna in the form of Paramatma, Krishna in the form of Paramatma is there inside our heart always, and not just human beings, it is within all living entities. So one, Krishna is there inside us. Two, the soul is there.
Mataji, Paramatma is the super soul, right?
Paramatma is super soul, yeah. So super soul and the soul and the subtle body. Can you just type out super soul, soul plus subtle body, always together. Whichever body we are changing,
Done. Yes.
so no matter which body we go to, suppose next birth I don't become a human being, suppose in the next birth I become some dog. So in that dog's body also, the soul, Paramatma, and the subtle body, everything will go together. Like how air, the perfume, how does perfume or any incense or anything travels? Suppose there's somebody sitting opposite you, he's put a very nice perfume. How do you get to know that he's put perfume? How does the perfume smell come to you? It comes through air, right? Similarly, the subtle body carries the soul to another body. So that is the process at the time of death. So I think we have to wind up here.
Mataji, she I think is just continuing with the question.
Hmm.
So imagine the subtle body has anger, subtle body has all these sinful reactions. Now, what happens is if we want to not carry all these sinful reactions and the memories of these things in the subtle body, can chanting help and cleanse this subtle body, and with of course regular cleansing, regular purification, regular working, ego, intelligence, and all these things can be clarified. But thank you, Mataji. We didn't know about this, but today we came to know that these three things are gone together. So, Mataji, am I learning properly? Am I on track?
Yeah, it is 100% correct. If you're chanting, then you don't carry forward those sinful reactions with you. Otherwise, all the reactions are carried in the form in the subtle body. So that's it for today. We are still on with the presentation. We can quickly take these questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 5 minutes. Maybe if you can quickly ask. Very short.
So, Hare Krishna, Mataji, when the body is dead, the soul goes away, and the new body it is searching for. How does it enter the new body? How does it take the new body? For
That
example,
is
you said the clothes, and you basically choose a new clothes. You pay, and then you get a new pair of clothing, right? But how do you choose the body at that time of? Are they able to choose boy or girl? If the person was before a boy, can they become a boy again? How does that happen?
So no, we don't have a choice. We don't choose. Actually, what happens is whatever way we have worked in our this birth. So actually, we are preparing our next body. Whatever thoughts you are having currently, the way you are thinking all the time, that in according to that you are creating your next body. And who arranges the transfer? Krishna arranges that you go and start living in another body which you desired. Krishna is not desiring that body. For example, you are an example which a lot of time Prabhupada would give is there is a person who loves to swim. There is a person who all the time wants to be near water. He doesn't like anything on the land. And even at the time of death, when person is thinking, what body do you think he will get the next birth?
At the time of death, when he's sinking, Mataji, did you say that?
No. That person is just desiring to be in water all the time. He loves water and he dies a normal death or whatever death, not in water, he dies a normal death. What according to you think is going to be his next body? Most likely. If throughout your life you have thought about water, you've thought of enjoying in water.
Mataji?
Sorry?
Fish.
Yes, 100%. So we have to be very careful in what we are desiring. If we are desiring for Krishna, we'll go back to Krishna. And if we are not desiring Krishna, we are designing some material things, then we will get a body so that we can enjoy in that body in the next birth. Because our intention is to enjoy. We want to enjoy. We don't want Krishna. We want to enjoy. Right? So Krishna arranges. Also, for the
So we talked about the time, Mataji. Basically, how is the time factor decided? That when there's death, we know the time, but the soul, when it enters a new body, how do we know what time? How?
No, you don't have to. It is all Krishna's arrangements, God's arrangements. Your breath, number of breath are fixed. No matter what you do, you cannot live even a second extra here. And when you're supposed to take birth, that is also decided. There is only one thing in your hand. And that is your, will, free will. It is called free will. There is only one thing in your hand.
It's a little confusing when we say when we say your hand, that is the soul.
Yeah, soul. Currently, the soul is inside the body, right? You are fulfilling your desires through your body only, right? If the body is now not there, how can you fulfill your desires? If tomorrow the soul comes out, can the soul eat? Can the soul sleep? Can the soul dance? Can the soul go for a movie? Can't do anything, right? So what I'm trying to say is that we are desiring. So there, Krishna has given us only one thing, and that is free will. With that free will, we can desire two things.
Mataji, it's a little difficult to explain what is free will here. Can you please help me?
Free will means your choice. Your choice. Krishna has given you he's left it to you. He's left everything on to you. Decision is yours. Your choice. Whether you want to remember Krishna or you want to just enjoy for your satisfaction. So if you want to enjoy, then Krishna will arrange a body according to your desires. For example, there is a father, and the father wants that, my son should, he should work somewhere close to our house. He should not go out of the country. But the son doesn't want that. So father is not forcing. If the son is near to father, then father can take care. Father can always be there in his time of problems. He can take care of him. But if the son wants to go away, then the father cannot push, right? So father just give a choice. This is your choice. Whether you want to go out and work or you want to live here. So similarly, Krishna says, you want to come back to me, then you need to you remember me. The entire life, if you are only thinking of your choice, your enjoyment, your satisfaction, so accordingly you will get a body, and accordingly Krishna has nothing to do with what type of body we are getting. He only and only fulfills our desires. He is our best friend, he is our well-wisher, and his only job is he observes. He sits above and he observes. He sits inside our heart and he sees what all are you desiring for. If you're desiring for all the time, getting ruled by your senses, then Krishna will give you a body according to that. So there are a lot of raised hands. I think we need a question answer session very soon on this topic. I will not move forward with further presentation. And I will, today is what, Friday? Most likely the coming week, maybe Wednesday or something like that, I would take a question answer session only on these aspects. So please note down your question. Don't forget your question. Okay, because I want to take everybody's question, because these are very, very important concepts. Because if you don't understand these concepts, then there is no point in attending this class. Okay, and because of time restrictions, we cannot take more questions. So very soon I'll send a message out for having a question answer session. So is that okay? Please don't get disappointed. Okay, and we'll meet soon with the question answer round only on these topics. I actually wanted to finish more, but then I don't know, we could not, because I think these points are very important, and let's understand them very well and then only move forward. So is there any volunteer who would like to explain, if by chance they've understood today's class, whatever little we have taught, is there anybody who would like to
Mataji,
volunteer?
Mataji, I'm really sorry, Mataji. I don't have more time. I really have to go.
So tell them to just send a message as a volunteer. That's it. Just send me a message who's going to volunteer for next week. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Mataji. It is Nandini Mataji who raised her hand.
Okay, fine. So we'll take Nandini next week. And maybe Gorei Prabhu also can explain a little bit. So both of them together can explain. It has to be very short. Then we can have more people. We can take Uma Mataji also. Then if it is possible, we can take her also for the summary. Only this new thing that we have learned today about the soul, only that needs to be explained. So, okay, so you can watch the recording and we'll meet soon with the question answer round. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.